something I have to delve
for
into.
instance, even believed in, thought there were cells until 1859, I think, when this guy came up with the cell theory. You can't see a cell in a living person, right? You've never seen a cell in your liver. So how do
No,
you
but
know?
I thought you can put it under a microscope and see it.
Well, in order to put it under a microscope, you have to take it out of your liver. You have to cut it up into little pieces.
You have to cut it up, yeah.
And then you have to stain it. And then you have to shine this high intensity light. And how do you know that none of those things change the appearance? Now, I'm not saying they do.
Very opposite question, yeah.
But you better know for sure that, because a lot of times you have a bacteria and you stain it and it changes form, becomes a spore. And so then you say, well, all bacteria are spores. Well, they're not. They only are spores because you
can't
stain
really say that.
And the only one that I know of who really did this process with everything was Harold Hillman. He said, before I accept that they're cells, I'm going to see, you know, I'm going to control for every step that I made that visible. Because, you know, it turns out Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic medicine, none of them thought there were cells. None of them.
Oh, really?
Never said anything about cells. Nobody said
They talk
anything.
about energy. They're trying to heal through, I mean, they heal through different means. I know Ayurveda uses plants and stuff, but they also try to get the energy moving, right, inside the body.
They had the same idea. They said, we have these channels of structured water. They didn't call it that. And the energy moved through there. It's same as what I said. And if the energy isn't flowing, you get sick. It's the same. I just have a different, you know, conception of it. But it's basically
but it's pretty much the same thing. It's about energy and the flowing of good energy, positive energy, and healed water possibly inside the body. Perhaps we can close with one question which sort of is on my mind, because if as you say, there's water inside our bodies that's sort of acting as a radio and there's an antenna, like with each cell or with each, you know, that's how we're sort of functioning. Does it work the other way as well? I mean, as we take in inputs, I mean, are we also capable of radiating out, and are we radiating out energy?
And that's where your original question of why do you see so-called transmission of illness, you know, people do communicate to others. Now it's time to do this, you know, cleansing detox, and that seems like you're transmitting, you know, some particle like a virus. But again, somebody who says, well, if there's transmission, one person and then another, that proves it's a virus. So are you saying that the only thing that's communicated between people is a virus? Like, what about women who menstruate at the same time? Is that a virus? What about feeling good when you're around somebody? Is that a virus? You know, we think.
And what about when people meet for the first time? You know, they pick up each other's energy, right? We all pick up each other's energy all the time.
Right. And then there's people who say, well, you don't pick up energy. Energy's not real, right? So sound waves aren't real. It's like you don't go to a concert and hear sound, right? It's nonsense. We of course emit light and sound and all kinds of frequencies which communicate to everything, to the other people, the trees. You know, a cat you can go, if you're a nasty person, you go into a room with a cat and they run. Right?
Cats and dogs pick up that stuff immediately. Yeah, they do. They pick it up immediately.
Yeah, they know that this person's nasty. I'm getting out of here.
No, I think this is huge. I think what you're just talking about is absolutely huge, because basically it means that the kind of science we've come to understand from our textbooks and stuff is very different from the actual visceral signs of being that many of us know on a kind of instinctive level, you know, that, you know, people talk about picking up people's vibes or picking up people's energy. This is what you're talking about. So there's all sorts of electromagnetic emissions from ourselves going out, and perhaps we can influence that emission as well through healing.
Absolutely. That's what life is all about.
That's what life's
science today is the practice of getting you to believe stuff that if you understood what they were saying, you would never believe it. That's what science is.
Yeah,
you would
absolutely
never believe that there's no energy coming out of a person, because that's what you run your whole life based on. I like being around this person.
That's right. Yeah, and in all relationships, I mean, we can pick up on each other's thoughts and feelings and emotions.
And they try to convince you that's not real. That's what science is, convincing you that your actual experience is somehow flawed.
Exactly. Wow.
That's the nature of science today.
Yeah. I think you are offering us a window into looking at science anew and looking at reality anew and looking at our experience anew and trusting our knowing and moving toward knowing for ourselves rather than simply believing or accepting whatever we've been indoctrinated with. Right. Yeah, wonderful. Dr. Goen, thanks so much. This has been an absolutely empowering and fabulous and insightful and sort of esoteric kind of conversation, but I think is opening new doors, in my mind and hopefully in everybody else who's listening as well. Any last words before we close for today? I think you're doing so much to just help educate people on how to feel themselves as empowered beings, stand up for themselves, start thinking for themselves, and question received concepts,
Let me just ask you one other question, because it's all about the words. And you said you're opening up your mind. How do you know it's your mind?
Your consciousness is using it very loosely. I don't know it's my mind. It's my consciousness or my awareness.
That's my point. You don't know it's your mind.
No. You're right. That's a received concept. Yeah.
Right. So all you know, at least all I know, is that somehow I feel different.
Yeah.
I think we should leave it at that, because as soon as you start putting words,
categorizing it,
you've already pigeonholed yourself into, well, it's my mind, whatever that is.
Yeah. That's right. And I'm reading a lot about actually the EMF fields of the heart. And the heart informing the mind, and a kind of two-way conversation going on and whatnot. So very interesting ideas. So many of us, especially the academic sorts, we've been brought up to believe that when you learn something, you're taking it in through your brain and your mind.
Right.
So you're supposed to sort of fixate on
whether that's actually reality, because you think that, but you don't really know that. I'd love to see the proof of that.
Yeah, because we take things in a very holistic way, is what you're saying. And we we exist in a holistic way too. So these are fabulous ideas and concepts and thoughts to explore further. So thanks so much. Thank you so much again. Thanks everybody for watching. I guess we'll bid you goodbye for now and see you another time.
Okay.
Bye for now.